Hello, my name is Scott Davis, and welcome to New World Birth. This is the care and feeding of a New World Age report for the Gregorian date of August 21st of 2014 and one Lamat or star or rabbit in the Mayan Tzolkin calendar. We're also going to discuss the sun moving into Virgo, the Virgo New Moon, and Mercury moving into Libra. August 21st of 2014 is one Lamat or star or rabbit. It carries the themes of abundance, playfulness, fertility, growth, ripeness, physical pleasure, and spiritual inspiration, artistry, creation, joy, and humor. One star is also known as one rabbit or one Venus, and the glyph for star is the planet Venus, and it's associated with the death and rebirth, as Venus disappears as the evening star and then reappears as the morning star. And Venus is the morning star after the inferior conjunction and prior to the superior conjunction. Um, the inferior conjunction is when it's in front of the sun. It cannot be seen due to its close proximity to the sun, and that lasts about 8 days. The superior conjunction is when it's behind the sun, um, and when Venus transits behind the sun, it's not visible for about 50 days. So Venus is the evening star after the superior conjunction and prior to the inferior conjunction. So when it's over on this side, and then Venus is the morning star uh, after the inferior conjunction and prior to the superior conjunction. Um, both the morning star and evening star phases last approximately 260 days. And of course, 260 days is exactly the length of a Tzolkin round. And one star is the final trecenta of the 260-day round. So the next care and feeding will celebrate a new round with one Amish or crocodile on September 3rd. And I think it's interesting that the modern Mayanologists have emphasized the Venus transit when it goes across the sun in relation to Mayan cosmology. But the Dresden Codex, which details precise knowledge of Venus's full cycle, makes no mention of that transit. It makes me wonder if this is a modern projection onto the Maya, although the Venus transit, which occurs twice every 243 years, uh, during the inferior conjunction, it's remarkable when viewed from the Earth, but it certainly seems to be lesser of an energetic force compared to the superior conjunction when Venus is behind the Sun and traveling in the same direction. After all, we Westerners love pyrotechnics, and we might have missed the boat regarding the actual energetic as it relates to the spiritual realm. This 13-day period of the one star Trecena would be a time to be grateful for abundance or harvest in our lives, whether it's food or spiritual insight. And since we are beginning a new Gregorian month during this Trecena, I thought I'd discuss the metaphysics of the upcoming month. September is the ninth month, and with the digits of 2014, when we add them together, we get 16. And then we add the 1 and the 6, and that tells us that we are in a 7-month in numerology in September. Basic numerology reduces numbers to 1 through 9, so that when we think of that arc, the 7 represents a time of digging into events and situations to get a deeper perspective with a stronger focus on values, motives, and ethics, which are also themes of the sign of Scorpio. Which has several influences. We've got Saturn in Scorpio all month. Mars is in Scorpio until the 13th of September. Mercury enters Scorpio on the 27th of September. And the modern ruler of Scorpio, Pluto, is turning direct on the 22nd of September. The 16-7 combination is represented by the Tower and the Chariot in the Tarot cards, which is about letting go of everything that's contrary to our authentic nature as it is destroyed or jettisoned. through finding our stillness even as we're in motion. And this quote from William Law represents the tower archetype. I feel within me the consuming fire of heavenly love, which has burned up in my soul everything contrary to itself and transformed me inward into its own nature. And this offering from Emerson is helpful in understanding the chariot. Motion or change and identity or rest are the first and second laws, secrets of nature. Motion and rest. The whole code of her laws may be written on the thumbnail. So September really represents a dramatic shift, as July brought us new options. Then August brought us further down the path regarding the situations that lead to a new life, which began a time of evolution that in September, which then will lead into the solar and lunar eclipses in October, and Mercury retrograde, as it's going to retrograde back from Scorpio back into Libra, to review the information and actions that occurred when Mars spent 8 months in the sign of the scales. Uh, uh, and then we're going to complete this numerological cycle that we're currently in November, when we have the 9 month in numerology. So before I get into the daily energy for one la-maught or star or rabbit, on the 21st, all the planets appear to be moving forward from our vantage point here on the Earth, with the exception of Chiron, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, which appear to be retrograde or moving in reverse motion from our perspective here on the Earth. Chiron is retrograde in Pisces. This is about releasing stuck emotional energy so that we can return to the natural flow of life. Uranus in Aries is seeking to shake our very foundation through the unexpected rebellion of the individual. And obviously, we can see this in news events where we're seeing upheaval, destruction, death, unexpected change, natural disasters, violence, and war. Retrograde Uranus in Aries will have people wanting to hurry the process of getting free, to push the river of revolution, whether it's personal or political. And I think that this is a time of detaching Uranus to act as an unobstructed individual. Aries, being an outer planet, and this will apply also to Neptune and Pluto in this report, Uranus creates events that we respond to. The inner planets affect us personally as individuals, but the outer planets change the landscape, which affects us as a collective and as individuals within humanity. So this also reminds me of this Krishnamurti quote that I like. The only hope for humankind is the transformation of the individual, and that's what Uranus and Aries is all about. Uranus creates challenges according to the sign it's in. So we may feel like we keep getting lessons in the theme over and over again. And Uranus is the modern ruling planet of Aquarius, which means that fairness is one of the topics. And often events seem to be unfairly set against us. And then we have Neptune is retrograde in Pisces, which is its own sign. It's seeking transcendence through spiritual experiences, and so this would be a time when we use spiritual practices to keep us grounded as we expand our intuition and consciousness. It's going to be important to keep this energy. It's important energy to nurture as we're still traveling through these 4 years of these challenging Uranus-Pluto squares that have been affecting us as the collective and also as individuals. And then we've got Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. The Pluto is death, completion, and Capricorn is the breakdown of structures to bring about transformation. Pluto in Capricorn is determined in exposing the darkness, destroying the old order, so that we can rise up like the phoenix from the ashes and soar again. Capricorn's about large structures, which includes banks, governments, corporations, and large religions. So this is a cosmic course correction for the entire planet. So let's go through the daily vibrational energy for this Trecena. On August 2nd, we have one Lamat or star, which is about unity and experience through being grateful for abundant relationships in the Mayan Tzolkin calendar. And on the 21st, we have Mercury trine Pluto. So from our perspective here on Earth, this is a 120-degree angle from Mercury to Pluto, which can bring concern about deeper issues in life. This has people wanting to dig below the surface to uncover the mysteries. On a personal level, this could be excellent for inner work. It might be a good day for some alone time to discover some of the deeper dimensions of your psyche. Communications may seem rather serious and profound. Thoughts will be more focused and gain insights about important developments. I'm not covering the daily lunar activity in these reports other than new moons and full moons, but that information is available on the New World Birth daily Facebook posts and also on the blogger New World Birth blog. So you can get the text of the lunar activity. The 22nd is 2 Maluk, or offering duality experience through appreciating creation in the Mayan Tzolkin calendar. August 23rd is 3 Ak, or dog, taking action through enjoying family and friends. And at this point, the sun moves into Virgo from our perspective here on Earth. Um, um, which brings our transition to the next season, finishing up summer in the north and winter in the south. This is much more modest, practical, reserved energy than the Leo energy of the past month. We're more interested in mundane details and getting organized. Traditionally, Virgo is ruled by Mercury, but I agree with Barbara Hand Clow that Chiron, the wounded healer, is the modern ruler of the sign associated with health. And this should bring a shift to more focus on organization, self-improvement, criticism, and service. And speaking of the wounded healer, Mars trines Chiron also on the 23rd, which brings courage and action to release the past and allow healing. And then on the 23rd, not the 21st. And then on the 24th, it's for Shuin, or monkey stability through creating something new, with Mercury opposed by Chiron, which brings a greater focus in our thinking regarding issues that require release to promote healing, and can take us more deeply into our past wounds to allow more organized insights that seek resolution. We may feel uncomfortable and unsettled as old emotions come up to the surface in our consciousness, our conscious mind, so that they can be healed. The 25th is 5 Ebb, or road, empowerment through serving your community. And we have the Virgo New Moon opposing Neptune and Chiron, merging with the Sun. This brings energy to get organized as summer is finishing up in the Northern Hemisphere, winter in the Southern Hemisphere. The energetic, again, is about health, work, service. With this lunation opposing Neptune, it brings feeling sensitive emotionally, but confused regarding the accuracy of what being felt. In opposition to Chiron, criticism will feel more wounding, so you may want to hold off for a day or so if you feel the need to correct someone. New moons are times of new beginnings, and in Virgo, it's about discernment, organization, discrimination. So this may be a time to create a new plan, um, or organize your closets or your computer, or clean up your house. Again, new moons bring an opportunity to set an intention for manifestation on the following full moon. You look at the house of your astrology chart that contains 2 degrees of Virgo to consider what area of your life is being activated by this new moon. For me, that would be my 4th house of home and inner world. So I'd set an intention related to using this energy such as cleaning or doing home repairs or some type of inner work on myself on that day. And that would really fulfill the Virgo New Moon's desire for organization, refinement through my fourth house's role of inner world and the home. The new moon chart includes Mars conjunct Saturn, so this new direction has a strong calling for taking action with responsibility, and which is of course Saturn and Mars. So some folks are going to feel a call that must be answered as they have a personal, immediate part to play. For those of you who are following your human design strategy and authority, your strategy and authority will help you tremendously in making the correct choice. Given this lunation's energy, it may be a time to complete something major. Another thing that I find interesting about this new moon is that during the Sagittarius full moon, which was way back on June 13th, we had the Venus Saturn opposition at the moment of the full moon, the Sag full moon, and so we had actually we had Venus, Saturn, and Chiron, and they were all at 17 degrees 44 minutes of their sign, with Chiron was sextile to Venus and trine to Saturn. And Saturn was retrograde during that full moon. So, and on this Virgo new moon, Saturn is now direct and returns to the degree that it held during the Sagittarius full moon, where it now conjuncts Mars and with both planets in a sextile, making a 60-degree angle to Mercury. And with Uranus in orb in Aries, we have a yod or a finger of fate when the sextile between two or more planets forms 150-degree angles to another planet. In this case, it's Uranus, the planet of upheaval, rapid, unexpected change and revolution. So this new moon has a volatile quality. It's also likely to bring events that lead to lasting change. So June's Sagittarius full moon was a time that we needed some sort of revision. And the current Virgo new moon it has the energetic to return to those energies to their rightful place through events that might seem unexpected and revolutionary. This seems really similar to the story of Robin Hood, where King Richard the Lionheart returned in disguise from the Crusades to find that his kingdom was usurped, and so this new moon is about returning the rightful rulers to the throne. Also on the 25th, we've got Mercury here in a sextile to Mars. So from our perspective here on Earth, this is a 60-degree angle, and Mercury is also in a sextile to Saturn. So again, 60-degree angle. Let's start with Mercury sextile Mars. This brings a busy day with folks having more energy than usual for their projects. This is a day where working with for someone else's benefit does not inspire diligence, but more likely resentment. So if you can use this day to work on what's of interest of you, it will seem like a good use of all this energy. Since others are feeling the same way, plan on working independently of others. There's energy for convincing others of your point of view, but they also have the energy to convince you of their perspective. So this might be a day to avoid people and conversations that can lead to arguments. Because this really does have a very competitive edge to it. Uh, but we can be confident in our ideas and beliefs to initiate something that can be successful in the long run, as long as we don't need others to bring it to fruition. And then Mercury sextile Saturn is great for constructive criticism that comes from being able to see what can be improved in our surrounding environment. This is very conscious, it makes us very conscious of flaws, including our own. So we might want to use our critical eye to see what can be changed to bring improvement. This can be very serious in its pursuit of betterment. Uh, so make sure that you're honoring what's positive and not get overwhelmed by the many imperfections that are in view during this transit. Older people may serve as teachers and mentors at this time. This is nice energy for working on for working carefully on any mental task from a place of concentration and precision, whereas activities that require a greater scope of vision may be more difficult. This is about the details rather than the overall pattern. So there's difficulty seeing the forest for the trees. We can see the trees, not the forest so much during this transit. Also on the 25th, Venus uh, here is in a trine to Uranus. So, from our perspective here on Earth, this is a 120-degree angle. This wants social experiences and romantic encounters that are outside of the norm, unusual and surprising. It's a great day to try something out of the ordinary. The daily routine just really won't cut it under this influence. Folks are looking for something stimulating in their social lives and relationships. It's a day when there may be unique encounters and love relationships that begin under this influence. And those love relationships that begin under this influence are going to be electric, unstable, and short. But it's also a strong potential that they could change our lives. This could also bring unconventional agreements in our relationships, as agreeing to change from an exclusive coupling to experimenting with other lovers might be an example of that, or experiencing different types of entertainment is also favored under by this transit, by enjoying music or art or theater that's outside of your normal choices. The 25th, very, very busy day, because we also have Mars conjunct Saturn. So, from our perspective here on the Earth, these two planets are at the same degree of Scorpio. Um, this can be a difficult day as people will be more frustrated and irritable. Not a day to launch a risky or daring endeavor because this energy doesn't favor success. Again, some of these things balance out other things. There's so many transits on the 25th. So anyway, we have limitation, Saturn, to our vigor, represented by Mars. This prefers following a well-established routine. Older people may seem more irritating under this influence. Folks may feel angered as they cannot express and find themselves seething in silence. It would be a better day to challenge this energy. It's better to channel that anger into some type of hard work and realize that the perception is temporary. And I think that we'll see folks who have been on the fence during Mars in Libra make an effort to move forward towards some goal. Mars and Saturn have a well-deserved bad reputation. So over the next few days, and they're going to also be squaring Venus in Leo. And Mars and Saturn and Scorpio could have many results. Some of them are less than pleasant. There's harsh energy represented by Mars and Saturn towards children. Leo, particularly girls, represented by Venus. Venus is also money, so there could be unseen limitation. Saturn and aggression. Mars related to money. Venus that rises to the surface. Scorpio, and creates drama, Leo. So those are all different ways that this could play out. On the 26th, we have 6 Ben or reed or corn. It's about being in the flow through maintaining the home. And we've got Venus square to Saturn, like I was saying. So this is a 90-degree angle from our perspective here on the Earth, which is a day of having difficulty relating to others, feeling cool, reserved, isolated. Many will feel will be reevaluating what they're getting out of their relationships as compared to what they're putting in. So if you feel loneliness or depression on the 26th, just realize that this too shall pass. And then we've got the 27th, we have 7 Ish or Jaguar, reflection through enjoying nature. And then here we've got Venus is now squaring Mars again. Venus over here is then squaring Mars. So again, 90-degree angle between Venus and Mars, which tends to arouse interest in the opposite sex, that is physical and perhaps sexual in nature. But this energy, it can also lead to discord if there are hidden tensions in a relationship. Healthy relationships should not really have difficulties during this transit, whose function is to test the pairing. It's basically about one side engaging in what's pleasurable for you and your partner, and on the other side, where there are tensions that lead to disputes that come from having unexpressed sexuality. The amount of love energy will determine which way the dice fall. This creates difficulty for couples who are trying to keep interactions nice and easy while not expressing the drives of Mars that Mars is known for. Relationships begun under this transit are going to be based only on physical attraction. And then we've got on the 28th, 8 Men or Eagle in the Mayan Tzolkin calendar. This is about balance through seeing from a higher perspective. And then August 29th, we have 9 Keeb or Wisdom, which is about patience experienced through introspection, meditation, and forgiveness, while the Sun opposes Neptune. So the Sun over here in Virgo is at a 180-degree angle to Neptune from our perspective here on Earth. So, this brings considerable confusion and uncertainty, but it also confers a sensitivity to others and their needs, which can lead to a new awareness. This is likely to be a day where people may just agree with others to avoid any type of confrontation. It's best to avoid playing the victim or martyr role. And if you feel you can't assert yourself under this influence, it's best to delay any disagreements until you've given yourself time to reflect on the issue. This is also a time to be aware that people may be being outright deceptive, making it a poor time to negotiate any kind of contractual agreements. This transit is positive for experiencing more depth in spiritual connections with a partner, with the potential for a union of souls. And then we've got the 30th is 10 Kaban or Earth, manifestation through gratitude for Mother Earth in the Tzolkin calendar. The 31st is 11 Etzna or Flint, resolution through being introspective. September 1st is 12 Kawak or Storm, understanding through recognizing the gifts of in adversity in the Mayan Tzolkin calendar. And then on the 2nd, we've got September 2nd is 13 Ahau or Sun, movement to the next stage through honoring the wisdom and the memory of our ancestors. And at this point, Mercury moves into Libra. So it's coming around, which is it's going to be a very short stay, as it's going to move into Scorpio at the end of the month in Libra. Mercury is about a rational, balanced thinking and communication. People are more inclined to make decisions by listening to the pros and cons. Sometimes this weighing of options turns into indecision. Mercury is social and in Libra. Mercury is social in Libra and does not wish to stir up controversy. So I'd expect to have more friendly and possibly sympathetic conversations over the 25 days that Mercury travels through the sign of the scales. So anyway, no matter what energies are affecting you during the one star Trecena, take some time to be in the flow of the planet by being in nature, watching a sunrise or sunset, communing with the stars, being conscious of the moment through introspection, meditation, or just being really conscious when you're with somebody you love. Because every single day we have is a blessing, no matter what. Dramas are beckoning to distract us. We're all here just giving the performance of a lifetime on the world stage. Just take some time out to observe the play as well as act your part by remembering you're a spiritual being that's having a human experience. I want to thank you for checking out New World Birth. The next segment of Care and Feeding of a New World Age will be on September 3rd of 2014 for one Emish or crocodile with Venus moving into Virgo, the Pisces full moon, Mars moving into Sagittarius. You can check us out on Facebook, YouTube, or the Mayan Magics website. And I encourage you to share this information as videos or as text as widely as you choose. I'm going to be discussing the metaphysics and astrology of astrological transits of September 2014 and providing some short human design readings to the participants of the Earth Needs Rebels show on Truth Frequency Radio on Tuesday, September 2nd. As always, I invite you to contact me at newworldbirth@yahoo.com if you have any questions or wish to schedule a reading. And I am providing readings in which to make this service available to the greatest amount of folks, so that I've got 3 different options with 3 different levels of compensation. And these readings are really designed to provide information to help you navigate these difficult times. These are epic readings. They often are 2 hours long. Sometimes they can be 3 hours, 4 hours. But they're just full of information that's important during this time period we're traveling through. So if you've been thinking about getting a reading, please contact me. I would love to provide you a reading during these uncertain times. You'll need to be able to either call me in Maine in the United States, or we can connect with Skype to receive your reading. We're also accepting donations to keep these reports freely available. My opinion, the best way to make a donation is get a reading. As always, I am blessed that you've taken the time to connect with my passion for these ancient mysteries and their application to our journey during this incarnation. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste, in Lakesh, and I look forward to connecting with you in the future, whether it's in a reading, on the radio show, or another video. But thanks for everything. All my best to everybody.